it's me, Brittany from CHATWITHBEE, and if you follow me on social media, you should have seen that I've been posting some pretty significant information as it relates to pregnancy, trying to conceive, fertility, and even the big I word, infertility. So I don't know if it was coincidence because I knew that I would be sharing some really neat information with you all today, and it just so happened to be on my radar because I knew this would be happening, or if it just happens to be the way that the cookies crumbled. So just to give you guys a little insight into what I've been seeing in the news lately is that pregnancy rates in the US are on the decline. Now I know that this has not been, it's nothing new. It's been on the decline for a while, but for whatever reason, we as society are starting to have that conversation more. So what I saw is that in the United States, we need somewhere around 2,200 births annually in order to replace the population. But that's not happening. So where we are right now is we're somewhere around, I think it's 1,700 or so. I can't remember at the exact moment, but I will place the article that I read in the description box for you all to take a look at. And there are a number of states that are reproducing above what is needed to sustain the population in the US, but the vast majority of them are not, including the one I live in. So what does that even mean? There's a variety of factors that probably are affecting the rate at which we are failing for what it's worth to reproduce in the US. And I even asked some of my followers what they think some of the reasons may be. And I got a variety of answers. So as a matter of fact, let me pull them up and let you know what they said. So I'm just going to give you a few of the responses that I got, and because I did get a lot, and I really want to get into the meat of why I'm making this video for you all, because like I said, I have a lot of really exciting news to share. But these are some of the responses that my followers had. So the first comment that I got is that, you know, it probably has a lot to do with people delaying age, the age that they start having kids. You know, this person comes from a very fertile family, so her being older didn't really factor into, you know, when or how much difficulty she may have had trying to have kids. But those were her thoughts, and she does know a lot of people that are affected by what the statistics are clearly showing. Some of my followers blamed the baby boomer generation, which I can't say I don't completely blame them, but I do think that there's something else that is factoring into why these rates may look the way they do. Let's see what else. We're too busy. So some of my followers out of DC are entirely too busy to have kids. Some of my other followers say that they're too broke to have kids, and having a lot of student loans, I can definitely see how that can be a problem because kids are expensive. And you know, I had a variety of followers saying that, you know, many couples are waiting until they're older to try to conceive. So the millennials like me, you know, they're not really pressed to have kids. They kind of just, you know, want to live their best life, go to brunch, get nice cars, get condos the size of homes with mortgages double the size of homes, because that's what us millennials like to do, apparently, status. And then, you know, when we get older, it may be more difficult to try to conceive, whether it's due to older age or underlying factors that we may not have thought of before. My personal thoughts in the matter is I think that you know, introducing birth control at an early age may have something to do with it. You know, who knows? You know, when you're putting a lot of those hormones into your body, it kind of tricks your body into thinking that there is either sufficient production or too much production of the hormones. So, you know, that functionality that we have in our brains turns off, and who knows, you know, it's kind of hard for it, maybe it's hard for it to turn back on. But one thing I do know for sure that is probably making it way more difficult than it should be to conceive is not really being in tune with our ovulation, our cycle, and knowing when that optimal fertile period is. Because I'll tell you, when I was growing up, how can I make this as concise as possible? I thought day 14 was it, y'all. Like, day 14. Stay away from day 14. You know, that's the dangerous day. And I swear to you, like, I went my entire life thinking that day 14 was bad because that's what I was taught. And the fact of the matter is, it's not the actual ovulation day that is dangerous per se when you're not trying to conceive. It's really the days leading up to it. And you know, if you're someone who's trying to conceive, or you're really in tune with your body, or you just like to research this stuff for no reason, you know, any provider will tell you that it's, you know, X amount of days before, based on the length of your cycle. My dog is barking, sorry. Any provider will tell you that it's based on the length of the X amount of days leading up to your cycle. So with that, if you have a 28-day cycle, then yeah, day 14 is probably not the best day, or the days leading up to day 14 are probably not the best days to engage in sexual activity if you're not trying to get pregnant. On the flip side, if you are trying to get pregnant, day 14 probably still won't mean anything to you, because that's only beneficial if you have a 28-day cycle. So here's where things get sticky, y'all. I don't know if this is too much information or whatever the case may be, but I don't have a 28-day cycle. What I started to figure out is that I actually have more of like a 25-ish day cycle. And I say ish because I really don't know. So, brief intermission. My dog was barking because he wanted water. And his water bowl was on the counter because we put things up for the night. And he was displeased. So he proceeded to yell at all of us until we all came out. And then he went over there and stood by the counter where his water bowl was. That has nothing to do with anything, but I figured that you may want to know what all that noise was about. So back to what I was saying. 28-day cycle. I don't have one. So my cycle is more like 25-ish because I do have a little bit of variability. But with that, day 14 means nothing to me because I don't have a straight, you know, split down the middle 28-day cycle. And the meaning behind day 14 is that, you know, that's when ovulation is supposed to take place. And then 14 days after when you ovulate is when, you know, your period will come again. So back then, I shouldn't say back then because I'm not that old, but how many ever years before when that happened, you know, that's what people thought. 28 days, 28 days, 28 days. But that was not reality. And I've learned some really tough lessons as it relates to when, you know, my cycle is supposed to come and when it actually did, because I was going on this 28-day thing. And then to add insult to injury, I was on birth control for like 6 years. So everything was chemically scheduled. So I never got an opportunity to learn about when it actually is, or when it was supposed to be. So now it's been, you know, a few years since I've been off of it, and I've gotten the question before, you know, you guys are newlyweds, do you want to have kids? And if it happens, it happens. You know, that's really our thoughts about that. But if there's ever a time where, you know, we decide that it's not an if it happens, it's more of a, okay, let's do this. It would be helpful to know when I actually ovulate. And the fact of the matter is, I don't really know when that is. I just take my best guess. So I say all of that to say I am no longer... You want to say hi? Okay, say hi. This is who was making all the noise, you guys. This is Rodney. Can I put you down now? Okay. So I say all of that to say I will no longer be guessing, thanks to a nifty little device that I got in the mail. So excited to show you guys. Called the iFertracker. Can you see that? So the iFertracker is a smart fertility tracker that helps people figure out when their most fertile days are. So that can go one of two ways, right? Because I can be candid, no little children or young people should be watching this anyway. But the fact of the matter is, you track fertilities for one of two reasons: either to get pregnant or to not, right? It's very simple. Because when you know when your peak days are, the days that are most likely for you to get pregnant, you're either going to go hard in the paint in order to conceive, or you're going to build some type of force field around you so that you completely obliterate your chances of conceiving. So with this, you get lots of information that can help you determine which direction you really want to go based on what your goals are. For one, if you manually take your waking body temperature, because remember, that's not really truly your basal body temperature. When you take that in the morning, it's your waking body temperature. That's one data point, and it's solely dependent on you doing it right. And I don't know about you, but I can't keep up with all that stuff in the morning, y'all. Like, when I wake up, most of the times I have 3 alarms. I go to sleep. I go back to sleep after every one. And by that third one, I'm either jumping out of the bed, running into my closet to start getting stuff to get dressed. I mean, there's just too many factors in the morning that can really just mess with you manually taking your temperature. And again, that's just one data point. You could do some of those ovulation prediction kits. That's also another option, which is, I mean, it works. But again, it's one data point compared to 20,000. So I have not gotten a chance to try it yet, but I just wanted to give you guys a preview of what I'll be doing and to let you know that there is something out there that may be able to give you some insight into why things are going the way that they're going, or maybe not going for that matter. And just let you know that there's something out here that's new and innovative that can probably give you some answers. So let's get into what's in the package. Okay, y'all, so let's get into the logistics of this packaging. It's really cute, right? They did a really nice job. So it came very well protected. I'm not sure what this material is called. I want to call it plexiglass, but I feel like that's kind of cliche and probably just really wrong. So I'm going to refrain from calling it that, but it's very well protected. Like, I'm relatively strong and I'm trying to squeeze it and nothing's happening. So that's a plus. As you can see right here through the glass is the actual iFertracker, which for what it's worth is probably, I don't know, maybe 2 inches. I'm bad in math, so we're gonna go with maybe 2 inches, which is a pretty decent size for everything that it can do. And it's a nice size knowing that it has to go right here, right on your underarm. So not too bulky, but also not too small to where it could get lost or not do its job. This is just the packaging on the front. Smart fertility tracker, really nice packaging, and a nice encouraging tagline rather, conceive more easily. So let's get into what's in the actual packaging. So I'm just turning this to the side here. It's the iFertracker, a battery, the battery tool, because of course you got to get it in there, and 30 patches as well as a manual. I don't know if you can see this from the side here, but it's really slim, which again is nice because, you know, you don't want to have anything big and bulky under your arm or getting in the way when you are trying to sleep. And then on the back here, we have all of the different data points that it translates that information to, that you can use to either plan a pregnancy, avoid a pregnancy, just know when your period is coming, and, you know, everything related to that. So, yeah. And then, of course, too, it has the information as to where you can download the app, because there is an app that goes with it, and you can get it either in the App Store or in the Google Play Store, and it works via Bluetooth. So because I'm an overachiever, I already downloaded the app prior to receiving the product. I was that kid in school who liked to read ahead, so I would know what we were getting ready to get into. So I actually downloaded the app so I could play around with it and kind of just see what was going on in here. I already input information about where I am, or where I think I am in my cycle for this month, because obviously I don't think I'm too sure about anything right now until I put this tracker on, but I at least knew when my period came, so I have that in here. And it also has options for, it's color coded. Hopefully you can see this. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. So it's color coded. I want to call that magenta. Magenta for period, yellow for fertile window, orange for ovulation day, and this is like a lighter magenta, it looks like, for when it thinks your period is going to come. So you can check yes or no for your first day and your last day, and it even gives you an option to put what your flow is like, and in terms of cramping and things like that. I've already played around with that, but I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to know that much detail about what's happening with me, so I'm going to go ahead and click out of that for now. But as you can see here, today's Wednesday, January 16th, and based on the limited information that I have put into the app right now, I'm in my fertile window, and my ovulation is scheduled to take place in the next 3 days. But as you can see, I don't have any information about my basal body temperature because I have not worn the tracker yet. So I'm interested to see how that changes going forward as I start to wear it overnight. And then also you see on the bottom, it's scanning, but it's not picking up anything because, again, I have not worn the tracker yet. So there's nothing for it to pick up in its scan. But when I do start to wear it, this is what the basal body temperature chart looks like here. I'm trying to show you guys. When data is put into here, it will start to chart me a graph to show me exactly what everything looks like. And then also it has information about my cycles based on the information I've put in here so far. So my average is 24 days. Like I said, 25-ish days because I don't know. But it gives me information as well as on my follicular phase as well as my luteal phase. And it's looking for me to link the monitor because I have not done that yet. So when that happens, this screen will go away. And then there's also some other options here as to how to set up my profile and things like that. So that's all I have for you guys right now. I hope you enjoyed learning about the iFertracker. I definitely encourage you to do your own research and check them out on their website directly as well as on their social media. They post up lots of tips, and they have a blog as well where they share more about their technology as well as success stories for people who have been using it, or women who have been using it rather, to conceive. And I will include their information in the comments below. as well as some information for you to save, because you know, if you're looking for something that can help you learn more about your cycle and learn more about how to not only manage it but use the information that you obtain to your advantage, I definitely want you to be able to benefit from that. So again, look in the comments below for a code that can get you some savings. And if you have any questions about the tracker, please leave those for me in the comments, and I will definitely get you some answers. And make sure that you're on the lookout for my update videos, because I'll be sure to provide you guys updates as to my experience using the products, as well as anything that may come from it. So with that, thanks for watching.